This one's different. I've talked about it on the live things and on YouTube Live, but the whole thing with Hollywood, and people wonder about the drugs and the alcohol, and yeah, it's a huge problem, and you all know that because it's all over the news all the time, and how many famous people we lost to it. My quick story is that I was in my 50s in Hollywood. The strike was going on. They had 6 or 7 deals going on. Some were falling apart. 2008 came along, the writer's strike. Everything was a mess. And I've admitted, not proud, that I was absolutely misbehaving. And I was pulled aside one night by Paulie Herman, the actor who used to be at Argo, and Vinny, a friend of ours. And they said, sit down. We sat at the table. We were just talking. The nicest guys. They're like big brothers. And they just said to me, somehow the topic of drugs, snow, came up. You know, snow. And they said, you know the old guys who are always doing that, always snorting that stuff? I'm like, oh, the old guys? I was thinking about, like, some of the old actors. I'm like, what? He goes, you know, the ones who are doing it still in their 60s. You know those guys? And I was thinking, I'm like, well, I know everybody. I know what they're doing. I'm like, I couldn't think of anybody in their 60s that was doing it. And he said, they said, come on, you know the people in their late 50s, early 60s who are doing that, behaving like that all the time and using these drugs? I'm like, no. And they're both looking at me. And finally they said, yeah, because they're all dead. They're all gone. Either that or if they cease that behavior. Because I was in my late 50s, nobody is going to be 60 and still doing that and be around. It wasn't like a big, heavy-duty thing, you know. And that was the last time I ever did that. It was the last time I ever did that. That was from Paulie Herman and Vinny. It was just sort of an interesting way for them to, because they were both crazy in their days. You know, Dennis Hopper and them and De Niro and Pacino, they all went crazy. They all went nuts. They tapered off for some reason. Their inner clock told them to behave as they got older. And if you don't, you know. So that's just an interesting, I try to keep it light and fun, but just want to mention that, you know, Matthew Perry's problems in the past and everything. It's just something I thought I should address. Thanks.